Hello all and welcome back to another exciting Beck Technology webinar. My name is Alex and I'm on the marketing team here at Beck Technology. Before we begin, I want to remind everyone that Precon World 2023 is open for registration. I'll be dropping a link to that in the chat shortly. Today we are lucky to be joined by Jon Chumbley, Head of Development at Beck Tech. In today's 15-minute webinar, Chum will be showcasing details of the Beck Technology roadmap as well as an update around DESTINI Estimator. We know many of you have questions and we look forward to getting to as many of those as possible. Be sure to submit those in the question portion of the GoToWebinar tool. If we're unable to get to your question, rest assured a member of our team will follow up with you. Chum, the floor is yours.
Thanks everyone for joining us today. As Alex said, we're going to kind of go through and look at kind of where we're at, where we're going. This is really more of our short-term roadmap. So not looking 3, 4, 5 years down into the future, really looking at where we're at today, what we've got planned for this year and going into next year. So let me go ahead and show you kind of where we're at. So I want to start out with just a little note regarding our forward-looking statements. This presentation contains statements for planned or future developments for existing or new products. These statements involve risks, uncertainties, and are not intended to be a promise or guarantee of future availability of products, services, or features, but merely reflect our current plans based on factors currently known to us. They're also not intended to indicate when or how particular features will be offered or at what service tier or price. These planned and future development efforts may change without notice. Purchasing decisions should not be made based on reliance on these statements. So just with that in mind, let's kind of just jump right in with where we're at. So the current thing that we're working on and moving towards is our Togal integration. So as part of our Togal integration, we're actually going to integrate with a takeoff platform called Togal.AI. With Togal.AI, you're actually able to send your plans and have it create takeoff for you. So instead of having to sit there and click and draw all of your rooms and walls and count all the toilets and bathtubs, you can actually get all your architectural drawings back in just a couple of minutes instead of having to spend hours drawing that out. This integration is actually currently in progress and is working to wrap up and get ready for beta testing. So be looking forward to some announcements coming out about that soon. Also currently in development is our new solution for alternates. So with our alternates, we're actually getting a new way to designate where your alternates are. They're treated similar to estimates within your estimates. So you'll be able to have your base estimate plus a list of alternates, and each alternate is going to have its corresponding items along with their own fees. And from this, you can actually approve or reject and see the impact that it has on your total project. We have seen a bunch of demos on this, and if you're interested, please reach out. Somebody can kind of show you where we're going. We're also looking at enhancing our fees. So one of the first things we want to do is we know subtotals. A lot of times you can do a lot with the subtotal, but then when you need to get that second subtotal, you have a little bit of problem with that. So, we're actually looking at giving the ability on a subtotal to specify which fees you want this subtotal to cover. Anything from everything above to just one above, however you need to be able to specify those subtotals that should go down. Then we start breaking into some of our near term, but not actually started yet. So our next one is going to be self-perform, which is going to contain some cloud native stuff. So all of the work that you're doing with your crews and resources is all going to be cloud-based, but it will be integrated into Estimator similar to how you're used to working like BIM 360. As part of this, you're going to be able to specify a single rate for a resource and have it apply to all the crews that have that resource. I know that's been a big ask from our self-perform users, and it's really going to simplify working with your self-perform estimates. We actually have a phase 1 that we're going to do, so it'll release sooner than the full overhaul of self-perform, which is going to expose man-hours per unit as a productivity and allow you to be able to set your productivity based on man-hours per unit as well as units per man-hour, and then of course always the normal crew productivity that you have. So this is going to be a big boost for our self-perform customers being able to go in and set up their. Then we start looking at some of the things that are going to be going on in bid day. So as part of bid day, we're planning out to do a bid solicitation, Rolodex, and subqual. And we will be building an integration with Bespoke Compass to begin with. So this will be our first integration, which will allow you to pull from Rolodex, get the qualifications for that, and actually turn around and solicit those subs directly from bid day without having to go anywhere from there. As we start looking a little further out, we're looking at document management. So when you're working with the 2D drawings, just any documents you want, even outside of 2D. So an easy and fast organization of your drawings, building in support for document comparison, and then enabling the document updates to minimize the impact of takeoff. So this has been a big request to be able to actually manage the documents a lot better instead of always having to load up a brand new PDF. We'll actually be able to put in new versions to work with and takeoff. Speaking of takeoff, all of you out there who've been saying our takeoff is lacking, well, guess what? We have listened, so we are actually looking to take on a whole new project working on our 2D QTO. We want it to be performant and responsive, easy to use and understand. Sometimes we find out that what we thought was easy to understand and be able to do that, we were able to actually make this so that you can just get in and go, supporting your workflows, the ability to create your takeoff in less time than OST. That is our goal. And then able to produce high quality deliverables for our clients. And then one of the last pieces that we're looking at in our more near term is reporting and dashboarding. So for our reporting and dashboarding, we know that's always been a struggle. How are you able to create your own reports, modify your own reports? You always have to come to us when you need help with it. So we've got a new cloud-based platform that we're working with. It's going to allow you to be able to easily build and customize your own reports. A nice little, what you see is what you get, as we call it a WYSIWYG editor, to let you go in and be able to go in and just lay out how you want your report to look and what data fields you want, and have it build that report for you. Initially, this is going to be available within bid day, as it is a cloud-based reporting tool, and bid day is fully cloud-based. But we do look at expanding that out into Estimator in the near future once we've actually released this, looking at how we can create that. So with that, those are the things that we have on our short-term roadmap, both what we're currently working on and where we're planning on going within the next year and a half. And with that, I will open it up if we have any questions.
Hey, Chum, thank you so much. We appreciate all of that overview and the updates around what's happening in our roadmap. We do have a couple of questions that have come in. One is around the self-work. Can you import wage rates and burdens from an Excel file into the system?
Yes, that is part of our plan, is to allow you to be able to quickly just import. It'll bring in all your wages, all your markups, all of that in with, yes, a copy, paste, import from Excel.
Awesome. The next question is, can you provide any update about what's being done to improve speed and performance as a part of the roadmap?
Yeah, so we're actually, as part of the roadmap, so these are the projects that we are working on. We are working to continue to provide maintenance releases where, as we finish up performance improvements, as we finish up, any bug fixes or even small tech debt items and cool new little features that aren't part of an overall project release. We'll be releasing those on a regular cadence. They will not have to wait for the next release to come out. These will always be being done in the current release, and then will be incorporated into the next major release as well.
Great, thank you so much. And the last question that we have on here is around APIs. Chum, are you able to shed any light around that?
When we ask around the APIs of accessing data within Estimator, they need a little bit of clarification on that question.
We will definitely, we'll follow up and get a little bit of clarification around that, but that is our last question that we got in today. So with that, we will thank everyone for coming today. This has been a great update from Jon Chumbley from our team. We want to thank everyone for attending, and stay tuned for our next Beck Tech webinar. Thank you everyone for attending today. Take care. Thanks, Jon.
Thank you.